I do see this man who looks really, really genuine. I do see this woman that looks really, really genuine. I do see that they are both incredibly hardworking. But what I do see behind both of them is Seven of Swords, Shark, and Panther. Now that is a really horrid vibration. That suggests families, friends, social networks, career, companies, associates, like whatever is surrounding the ecosystem of this man and whatever is surrounding the ecosystem of this woman has created this feeling of being robbed and resulted in a very, I want to say, thorough dethroning of the old self. Yeah. So throughout stages in life, go and check out the tarot and talk. I talk really lengthy in there, just generally waffling on, but with some really important points that I feel like would benefit you guys, okay? Because whoever's dealing with this situation, your old self had to be dethroned because of this event. This was a tower moment that happened in your life. This is hard to accept as well for me as a reader to try and deliver this to you, because I truly want you to understand what I'm saying, right? Because we always have to evolve. God will give us as much leeway as he possibly can. But when the universe says you've reached the end point, there is nowhere else to go. When you've reached the last decimal place, we're gonna need to roll over to a new numeral, yeah? We have to ascend, we have to evolve, we have to change. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Every second, another second is ticking over on the clock. Even if I pause this audio and I stop looking at the timer, even if you pause this YouTube, exit my video, time is still ticking. If you say, I don't want to live anymore, I don't want to carry on, you're still living and carrying on. Do you get what I mean? I don't want to do this job anymore. Well, you're still doing it. You still have to at least give a period of, a notice period of at least 4 weeks often, which is more time. Time upon time upon time. We have to choose to evolve. And when we don't choose to evolve, we are thrusted forward by evolution, which is compulsory, whether we like it or not. Yes, we all have free will, but you will be forced into the new self. And this is what's happened here. Like, I can't often say this a lot, and it's making me reflect on my life as well, so I'm trying to find the balance and accept what the divine is also sharing with me today. Because what's coming through really, really loud and clear is whoever was behind the scenes, whatever entities created this ripple and rift and disconnect. It looks like a best friend. It could be a husband and wife, yeah? A husband and wife now going through divorce. A husband and wife separated. Someone who's got kids with this person. It could be best friends, yeah? Could be a boyfriend, girlfriend. It could be anything. But I'm looking at a male and female, and the friendship there is the most dominant energy, because we're looking at the best friend card, the loyalty card, the dog, right? Man's best friend, yeah? The most reliable person. You're both incredibly reliable. You both look at each other as really, really someone you could rely on. But for whatever reason, whatever happened, these two entities in the background, potentially 3 people, definitely 2 other individuals, created a rift here. And ever since, your future has been distorted. But God is telling me this was part of the plan. We have karmics in our lives for a reason. We have people in our lives for a reason. We go through trauma, triggers, difficult stuff in our life for a reason. Whatever's happened here, it looks painful, it looks sad, it looks traumatic, it looks like two gorgeous souls have been ripped apart and away from each other. And this could be your best friend at work. Something happened at work and one of your friends got sacked, one of you got fired, the other didn't, and now you're not talking, and there was lies in the staff room. Whatever the case may be, separation, divide between two counterparts, two people that were destined to be lovers in each other's lives, genuine support systems in each other's lives, you know. But God's saying, because of this incident, you both got dethroned. The old versions of you were dethroned, and guess what that's done? That's made space for you to become the new version of you, the upgrade, the new iOS update, the 2.0 version of you. Easier said than done, because we don't get updates overnight, and we don't get updates without bugs in the code and errors and our screens suddenly glitching because Apple haven't really sorted the update out properly, sometimes we haven't even got enough. This is the best example I can give. Sometimes we haven't even got enough space. We haven't got enough storage for the update. Fuck me. This is exactly what I'm looking at. Sorry guys, this is how I talk, so bear with me. But I'm looking at two counterparts who both got dethroned from their old reality. So two individuals, a masculine and a feminine, both working incredibly hard on their life, their business, their careers, their work, their spirituality, most importantly. And whatever happened because of two other entities stealing their vibration, stealing their energy, stealing their money, their ideas, their time, whatever it is, real thievery here, dominant energy, taking from these individuals. And as a result, these individuals both got dethroned. But imagine you've just... Your phone now requires an update, but you haven't got the space. Your phone won't work without the update, is Apple saying now. Right? This is the metaphor. Your phone won't work without the new update. Other providers are available, but you can't get the iOS. So you need to delete stuff. But the stuff on your phone you can't delete. It's important. You need these photos. You need these images. All this stuff you need. Do you get what I mean? So that's the example here. The feminine and the masculine have had to really upgrade their lives. But that's not something you can easily do overnight by just clicking a button when there's no capacity to hold the new you and the new assets, the new things that you want and need. You have to take serious time, dedication and effort to go through every little thing and select what can stay and what must go. A lot about assets, wealth and abundance here. Housing. Credentials. A lot of people, right, get faced with obstacles and challenges in life, and sometimes they have to stop studying. Yeah, one of the most difficult things for some people to deal with is you're in your first year of a degree, second year of a degree, and then suddenly something's happened in your life and you've got to stop, you know. And I know it can be really, really heartbreaking and painful to think that you've got to walk away, you know, from what you assume that in 3 years you would have that degree and that qualification. But now you're actually walking away and you don't know when you're going to go back to that sector. You don't know when you're going to go back to study again. And that's scary, right? But you will leave with the modules and the units that you've already completed. You will get the credits that you have already obtained, and they will sit there. They will be on hold. So just hold firm in knowing And this is what you've been doing. This is where you've been. You've been on hold. Male or female, whoever you are in this story, whoever your counterpart is, you've both been on hold here. Because you're like, I've got all these units, I've got all these credits, I can't move on to the next year. Not this year, maybe not even next year. I can't move on this. But what I can do is put all the units I do have on hold, on the shelf, get the credits, get the certificates for what I've already achieved, and just sit with this. Because in that period of time while I sit with this, I can evolve. I can ascend, I can learn, I can study, I can improve, I can build. I can resolve any blockages. Some of you guys, this is legal cases. Some of you guys, you've fallen in love with a friend, right? And you've known this person for years and years and years. And maybe you've dated on and off in the past. It's never been too serious. You've been together, not together, together, not together. And then suddenly, you meet up one time. You haven't seen each other in ages. And you meet up one time and you're like, no, I know that it's you I want to be with. I'm in love with you. I want to be with you. And then she's like, well, I'm married. I'm married. And he's like, well, I want to be with you though. Do you want to be with me? And she's like, yeah. And he's like, well, you're going to need to get a divorce then, aren't you? And like this is just an example, right? This could be your scenario out there. But in that moment, there's had to be decisions made, and a woman's gone, okay, I'm going to leave my husband tomorrow. I'm going to tell him it's over. I'm going to tell him that we haven't been working for the last 4 years, the last 10 years. Our love just hasn't been working. I'm in love with someone else. So you go home, you tell your husband, you break the news, but you still got to go through divorce. Your husband's not happy about it. He thinks you've been cheating all the way through. Maybe you have, maybe you haven't. Either way, the courts will have to decide that, because we've got legal out. So we've got a legal issue going on here where you've got to face the truth of the situation. And if you have cheated in that relationship and cheated with this person, may I add, then you're going to kind of have to pay the price for that to a certain degree and own that. And that's going to affect the settlement that you get, the pay that you get. They'll probably get the house. They'll probably get the majority of the assets because you fucked up the relationship by being through the infidelity. Because why are you meeting up with this man on the low telling him you love him when you know you got a husband at home? You know, sorry if this is you. I'm sorry, but I'm giving you the real scoop of the tea. This is why it's been difficult. Because you got to own the truth of the situation. So whatever's been going on in this situation, and you guys could have been separated and distant because of this. Because, for example, if it's the example I've just given, then this woman has had to go home and work out what she's going to do with her kids, you know? And this man's kind of like, well, I want to be with you and I'm ready to be with you. And she's like, well, actually, I've got kids and I'm going to go through the divorce, fair enough, but I need time to fully move out and separate and get the kids settled in a new house or a new school. Or do you get what I mean? There's a lot, but the point is, we can't update yet. There's a lot going on here. The capacity, right? But what's so beautiful is we move away from what was the past, but it was also the future, blocking the future. Fascinating, because I've been speaking a lot lately about past, present and future and its relationship with the now. And it's funny that I've spread all the cards out. I've seen what the future is, but I can see that the future's blocking your now. And where is the future closest to when we do spreads in tarot? It's at the end, isn't it? It's the closest to all coming all full circle back round to the past. So the main thing that often will affect your future is your past. The main thing that will affect your past is your preconceived notions of what the future will be. So that's what's been going on here, is you've both preempted the future. You've both seen the future in each other's eyes, which is gorgeous and beautiful. And whatever's happened, there has been this ruckus in the background. It could be cousins, brothers, aunties, uncles, sisters, family, friends, other people in the network, like I want to say Trojans, right? Negative influences that just haven't allowed this to really download. We couldn't download this. No matter how much we tried, the storage was off, right? So it's just been constantly insufficient funds, insufficient funds, insufficient funds, insufficient energy, insufficient relationships, funds, happiness, joy. There's an insufficient nature surrounding this whole dynamic. So I'm looking at someone here who keeps every now and then peeking out, making an offer, showing themselves. I want to look at that. That fascinates me. Wow, that's the divine. Oh, I love a reading like this. This is juicy, guys, because I thought it was going to be either the male or female coming forward and overexerting themselves potentially. But no, this lets me know that whoever's engaging with this at this time and resonates with this story, the divine keeps showing you the way. Sexy. Every now and then, the divine is throwing you a synchronicity, a sign from spirit. You every now and then you look at the screen and suddenly you've freed up a little bit more storage space. You're getting the capacity you need for this. Really, really nice, you know. I also done a zodiac reading about the capacity and having enough capacity. I don't know what sign it was though. It could have been a Taurus or a Libra, I think. So this feels a little bit connected because the way I'm talking about having the capacity to hold all of this. What reading was that? Well, somewhere on the channel. Yeah, this had to mature. The old you had to delete all of the old cookies, all of the old Trojans, all of the old elements of self that were blocking this from working. It's like having an old browser and you keep opening it and opening it, but Netflix won't play on your laptop. Why won't Netflix play on your laptop? Because you've got so many cookies piled up in the back. Everything's distorted. So you have to make sacrifices. You've got to delete your history. You've got to delete your bookmarks. You've got to delete some apps. What's going to go? You've got 4 of your favourite apps. It's like PlayStation for me at this time. I need a PS5. Anyone feel free to send me one to my PO box. Because my PS at this time hasn't got enough memory. And repeatedly, when I want to download new games, I can't. I have to delete something. I have to sacrifice one of my classic games. And I have to repeatedly go, okay, who am I going to let go of? Who am I going to lose? Who am I going to let go of to make space for you? And sometimes you're in a position where I can't lose any of you. I need all of these games because I haven't clocked it yet. I'm on level 4 there, level 6 there, level 10 there. So I'm going to need to wait until actually I finish the whole game before I can delete that. So once again, the divine timing's coming in. But every now and then we can delete a little cookie or a Trojan or a bookmark and free up a little bit more space on the drive. Yeah, you're being gifted by the divine. This is divine timing. You are being gifted, you know. Whatever this is and whatever relationship this is, right? The timing is making everything else around it become unstuck. Because where we're at in life right now, yeah, sometimes we go through really transitional phases. And for example, for me, I'm in the middle of writing a white paper, and I run on about it all the time because it is the main bulk of my work at this time, and it's really incredible, like the main influence in my future and what my outcome's going to be, and it's really going to dictate my destiny, you know. And until I get it out to the public domain, it's just kind of sitting there and it's weighty and it's incomplete and it's burdensome, it's heavy. I want it to be done. I want to give it to the world. But even if it was entirely complete and ready to be published right now, it wouldn't even be something I could put out to the press yet, because there are too many external factors going on in the wider world with government and politics, and too many key events that are still set to happen over the next quarter and a half before the economy and the sectors of industry really do calm down, and I can really weigh out the pros and cons of the economic standing at this time before I release such a weighty document that's going to really impact cryptocurrency and finance, you know? So knowing all of that doesn't change the fact that I'm incredibly irritated, because I want it to be done and I want it to be ready and I want the world to receive it, because when the world does receive it, I'll know where I stand. I will have achieved something massive in my life. I'll be incredibly proud of myself. My business will be reaching new heights and new levels, and I'll be actually really on my way to building what I've been dreaming of, you know? But the divine is at play, is the point. I can't move on it from two sides. And that's a benefit, because then it lets me slow down in the now moment and really take my time and work through all the cogs of the situation, all the nooks and crannies, test the model, truly understand the positive and negative, read over every single fine print of the document, refine it, improve it, put it down, let it rest, come back, read it, check it again. That's what it provides me on that note. On the other note, it makes me really be more responsible, because I'm thinking about the rest of the world. How is that going to impact the education sector? How is that going to impact healthcare? How is that going to impact my local community? How is that going to impact the tech space? What is that going to do to my finances long term? What is that going to do to my finances short term? How is that going to impact everyone's finances within the United Kingdom? That's a lot to consider, a lot of questions, isn't it? They're the same questions that you and this person are asking yourself. How will this impact my kids? How will this impact my housing? How will this impact my local community? How will this impact my husband, my wife, my family and friends, my kids, my ex-husband, should I say, my ex-wife, should I say, right? Because it's about more than just us. And if life was as simply as me and you and them, him and her, then we would all be living very different lives than we do right now. And the infrastructures and the way that society is set up today wouldn't really be needed, would it? Because I guess we would all be lacking morals and integrity, and there would be no law. It would be the forever purge, which I just watched on Netflix. Quick recommendation for you there. The Mexican version, The Forever Purge. Interesting little spin-off. Not bad. Not one of my favourite purges, but not bad. Gave you a really interesting scope of what the world would look like if the purge never ended. Yeah? So, wow, this is interesting, because I'm going to use that same metaphor with you guys. I'm going to say, if you and this individual carried on going with your life in the way in which it was, let's say that you was already on a hat trick, you were winning at the casino, you were getting all the coins, you were racking it up, you were doing incredibly well, both of you. What I can see are two really strong, powerful individuals, male and female, working incredibly hard in all elements of their life. I would say that you were even both on a lucky streak independently, both of you. I think coming together truly impacted your wealth and abundance, and potentially put you in a much better position. Like, I want to say a little bit of sugar helps the medicine go down, so a little bit of the other could provide you with an extra bit of leverage and foresight, and it paved the way for you to move forward in really high vibrational ways. I feel like you're high vibrational counterparts, right? So with that in mind, God's like, it would have been the forever purge. You would have just been, you go to the casino and you go in and you walk in and you're just winning and winning and winning and winning and winning. The motherfuckers up there in the box watching you through the CCTV are going to be very fucking alarmed, because you're robbing their casino blind, and they're highly concerned. And they're not going to budge. And actually, when you go to check out and take all your fucking chips and get your cash, they're going to stop you and pull you into the side office, and you're under fucking investigation, right? So some of you could actually be going through that if you decided to take this energy to the high. Then that's why some of you are caught up in legal and now going through divorce or separation or some kind of situation over here, because that forever purge energy has transcended into so much abundance and good luck for a period of time that it's got the federales, it's got the justice system, it's got the karmic justice system shaking a bit. Whoa, we've got two entities here that are receiving way too much love and light, way too much high vibes. This is unprecedented. This is so much static in the atmosphere energetically. Oh, we've just created a brand new wormhole accidentally here. What the fuck's going on, right? Oh my gosh, suddenly we've hacked NASA, we've fucked up the system. What's going on? Breach, right? That's what you two create for each other, because what's so beautiful, this dog just doesn't stop staring at me as well. So some of you could have a dog as well, or this person has a dog, or you just could be a dog lover. But the way it's the eyes that are looking at me, right? Because no matter what happens, no matter what's going on in this reading, a lot of faces, a lot of people, a lot of business events, a lot of money on the table as well, a lot of arguments, disagreements, like silly little bickering, nothing too serious, more family disputes, right? Little bickering here and there, legal situations, hidden moments under the guise of other stuff, right? But the main thing that will not budge here is the way in which the loyalty is so strong, and the eyesight. It's the way that you look at each other, you look at them, they look at you, or your foresight of what you see. Yeah, the sight, the vision is very significant in this reading. So at least I want to say to you guys, connecting, believe in yourself, okay? Whatever you foresee this to be, whoever this is for you in your life, your sight is right, your sight is correct. Because I'm seeing such a profound, it's like, yeah, there's all this eye contact between you, but it's more so what you see in your mind's eye is my point. Yeah, they could have gorgeous eyes. Yeah, you could just look into each other's eyes and disappear. But that's your third eye seeing so clearly into the future because of this. You see the foresight you have together, the destiny. Also, I did say some of you guys could have known each other for a long period of time as well, didn't I? Because I was getting that kind of energy of you kind of grew up together. I'm getting like soccer team, school kind of stuff. Like I'm getting like US soccer team, and you all kind of meet up, and like I don't want to get lost in someone's story too deeply, but I'm getting like you would go to like meetups and see each other there, and like fraternities and frat boys, and you kind of knew each other from that, and you've always known each other for years. Then you kind of grow up, and then you don't really see each other, but you know each other around, you talk now and then suddenly you just connect at some point. I don't know what's happened, but it does appear that you've kind of been intimate with this person, had sex with this person, made love with this person. I mean, there's intimacy here, right? Because there's no way you two would know that you're destined to be if you hadn't had prior moments of intimacy in your acts. And it just shows me at least 2 to 3 periods of time where you've already kind of had these intimate moments where you knew it was meant to be with the other, and there was all this love inside of you. So you've probably told each other you loved each other before, you probably tried to date each other before, you've been back and forth in this loving connection before. And this is kind of the final nail in the coffin where you're like, no, I want to be with you. Both of you are saying, I want to be with you. You're it for me. But then both of you are going, well, actually, this is what my life. Both of you could have been married. Both of you could have had long-term relationships. Yeah, lots of situations out there, right? But either way, whatever's going on in the connection, whoever you was in love with, it was a concern to kind of have to own that, because I think the moment that this has kind of come out, has everything changed in the dynamic. Yeah, intuitively. Because I'm looking at all of that luck fading away. Yeah? There's still a lot of privilege here. Wow. I'm looking at this woman, right? I'm looking at two women now. But to me, it's the same woman. Give me a sec to Wow, it's that evolution, isn't it? Remember I spoke about that evolution? 37 minutes in, and we're going back to the point I already made about the how we are kind of forced to evolve. I'm looking at this. Oh, it's really magical, you know, because this woman here, yeah, I feel like she's gone through an unlucky streak. I feel like the man has, right? I feel like the man could have gone to the casino and got caught on camera winning every 10 seconds, and they've pulled him into the side room going, right, mate, are you counting cards? What are you doing? Something's going on here. It's not adding up. You've won. Since you've walked in, you've had your eye on this, and you just keep winning. It's not adding up. Like, there's a movie about that. I can't remember what it's called as well. Oh, what is that movie? It will come to me at some point. But as this man is evolving, this woman is evolving. Both of you are evolving, and your parts that the new evolution is slowly coming in, okay? The point being, guys, this relationship is gonna reach its destined starting point, yeah? Let's say starting point. Because I don't feel like you guys would have ever really survived or made it while still being the old versions of yourself. I feel like you both had to go through the change, be dethroned to a certain degree. I feel like the woman lost a lot of money because the unlucky card came out with the woman. So it looks like the woman could have lost a lot of money and really changed her living circumstances, financial pay bracket. I mean, either way, whatever's happened, the cards that are coming out around this woman is her ability to evolve over and over again through struggle and strife, the ability to find peace and remain sustainable, and just exude sustainability is what I want to say during really difficult periods of time in life, right? You see who someone is when they're down and out and struggling and going through trials and trauma, and certain people crumble and you never see them again, you never hear from them again. They fold and fumble and disappear into the background. Whereas I think both of these individuals, you and them, you've both stayed on grid. You've both stayed aligned. That's how you know it's real. Let me tell you something, right, before we close out, and let me tell you how lucky you are to have this as well, may I add. Because what I always advocate for over and over again in relationships is a relationship that can evolve throughout time, that can evolve throughout anything, that can evolve at a pace, at a rate that is mutually agreeable. A mutually agreeable pace, a mutually agreeable rate, acceleration, a rate of acceleration, right? My main issue in relationships, and I'll say every fucking relationship I have, every single one, not just romantic, is the inability to ground a mutually agreed on rate of growth and evolution. Because quite often, I grow quite rapidly, and scarily so. I feel like I outgrow people. And as much as I want to lie inside, I would love to lie. Many days in the past I have cried my eyes out, asking God why I can't lie and why I can't fake it, why I can't pretend to be less evolved, why I can't go back to being that old version of me, why I continuously cycle of evolution again and again, changing and becoming a newer, more ascended version of me. And that may sound egoic, but that is my truth. Because if I managed to stay stagnant sounds like a harsh word. If I managed to not evolve so rapidly over and over again, I could stay in that relationship with that guy. I could have kids with him. We could settle down. We could get married. We could have an incredible, beautiful life. I could see the future there. But I know who I'm going to be a year from now. And a year after that. 6 months from now, I've got this new goal, this new objective, this new mission, this new task. I'm not just going to go and work a standard 9 to 5. No offense. I have my own job, my own business, and I do a 9 to 5, but I'm not going to work for someone else, checking in and checking out for that salary, fitting in with the status quo in a sector or industry that sees no evolution, no spiritual growth. So I can't choose to be with someone who lives in that kind of way. So I can't have a relationship like that. My relationship with people who don't choose to evolve ceases to exist every time I evolve. So once again, it's just me and my hermetic state, because no one around me has been able to keep up with my ascension rate. And then in my head I go, no, Louise, no, hermatologist, that's just your ego. No, you don't know how to maintain relationships. No, it's a you problem. No, whatever. That's the inner critic analysing the conversation. But the truth of the matter is, I believe I've ascended again, and I believe I'm evolving again, and I'm creating and expanding in new ways anytime I get the opportunity to. And I can't stay and settle down with someone who isn't meeting me with that same kind of ascension rate. Point being, you are incredibly privileged here, because now you're aligned to someone else who actually moves at the same rate at which you do. Yeah? I don't really know many cases this can happen. I don't really know many instances where you can fully let your guard down, truly be you, go on a spiritual journey. I'm talking to a real spiritualist right now. Because not a lot of you will understand what it means to, when I speak about spiritualists as well and spiritual beings, I'm talking about influencers, I'm talking about entrepreneurs, I'm talking about unique individuals, I'm talking about those who are self-employed, creating their own businesses, because you're setting your own standard and you're setting your own pace, and your rate of ascension, your rate of logistic planning, strategic planning, new ideas, goal setting, setting goals, your ideas, your creative spark, your level of content creation, all of those kind of things there, they contribute deeply. So it's fair enough to go and chill with your brother and sister and your uncle and your aunt and your mum or dad or family and friends and chill out and go into a period of stasis, stillness, oneness, a period where you don't really move too much and you're not doing anything overly outlandish. But then when you come back to your own bubble, your own unique ecosystem, you're moving at a much faster rate. You got to slow down to go to the family function. You got to slow down to go to the family event. You got to slow down to go on that date. In this relationship with whoever I'm connecting with, you don't have to slow down. And you don't have to speed up. And that doesn't mean you have to be on the same rate as this person either, because sometimes when you're on the exact same rate as the individual, it also doesn't work. Because you're moving way too fast, or both of you are moving way too fast, both of you are moving way too slow. It's just a awkward rhythm. But the rhythm that exists between you guys is incredibly harmonious, and that is what's bringing luck in, yeah? Your lucky mascot is right here, and you're both aware of that. That's why you look at each other in the way in which you do. That's why the eyes are looking at me like this every time I look over here. The eyes are just staring at me. It's very intensive, and I've got big eyes myself, so imagine me being scared of these eyes looking at me here, you know. And the clarity of this situation is that throughout all of this, you are still working on yourself, okay? So if I am talking to a collective out there, and I often shun the twin flame journey because I feel like it just doesn't sit well with me all the time. But I will say this reading is definitely a twin flame reading, 100%. There's no denying it whatsoever. It's too intrinsic, it's too strong, it's too powerful, it's too aligned, it's too evolutionary. It's gorgeous, to be honest. It is really, 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 really strong. And the wealth that is attached to this through your independence and hard work is absolute clarity and conviction that this is what it's meant to be. It's really nice actually for me. I don't really do much twin flame stuff over here, but to come in and tap into a twin flame energy like this, and think about where I started when I started doing twin flame readings in like 2018 to where I'm at now, it's really, really sexy because it shows not only the maturity in me as a reader, and I feel like really grown up delivering this kind of twin flame message, but it just shows the twin flame journey overall. You could have known this person for like 10 years as well. 9 years, 10 years, 29 years even I've got here. What's this? 18. Since you were 18 years old. Yeah. Dated when you were 28. Known each other since you were 13. You could even have married this person when you were 24, I get. This could be someone that you've already married, divorced, moved on. First husband, now you've got a second husband, or a third husband, now you want to go back to your first husband. Yeah, that kind of energy is here as well. Really beautiful, guys. Many of you, this has been a reading about you and your twin flame. A twin flame journey that you've been on that hasn't been easy. But twin flame journeys are not meant to be easy, right? And you've been cycling through it, working incredibly well through it. You are connected to your lover who appears to be separated from you at this time. I see a female that is repeatedly evolving over and over again. The truth of the matter is, when I started this reading, I saw this man staring at this female, and this female's back was turned. And in my head, I'm like, oh wow. In my head, I'm like, why is the man always looking at the feminine? Over the last month, I've done readings on this channel. The man is always looking at the feminine, and the feminine's just always got her back turned, right? So I didn't even want to say it because I thought, goodness me, do these cards not know how to go in any other direction? Every time I pull them out, the way that they line up is the man's always staring at the back of the feminine. And what surprised me today, just as I was about to leave you guys, is this same man is now in front of the woman, and the woman's staring at him. Wow, this is really profound. Listen to what I've just seen. This man is staring, yeah, at this feminine, watching her evolution. He has seen her evolve over time, over years, throughout cycles. He has seen her cycles from high to low, from low to high, and back again. And he is seeing her at peace in the now. So if you're the feminine, you're at peace now. And just take some pride and ownership in that, because I think you've been through a lot. And you may not be as privileged as you were in the past, but you truly are who you're meant to be in the now moment, and you have truly evolved, and that's so beautiful. And the feminine here, the masculine thinks that you're not looking at him. He thinks that he's out in the cold. He could be struggling financially. He feels like you've turned your back on him. And he just feels a little bit bare bones. He feels a bit out in the cold. And I actually thought that you were ignoring him as well and not looking at him. But guess what? You're looking at the future him. You're manifesting him back in through the other side of the portal. Because we're reading from back to front with you guys. And I've never read like this so fluently. If the cards are all reversed and we're going backwards towards your destiny. We're walking back to the past to get your man, I want to say to the female. We're walking back to the past so you can get your man. And he feels like you've left him. And he feels quite forsaken a little bit. Downtrodden as well. Especially if you are the female that has another family and is going through divorce, or still living with your partner because you haven't settled on a new house yet. Or maybe they have no idea. You've just said, I will call you when I can tell you the truth and tell you everything you need to know. But until then, we're going cold turkey or whatever it is, right? He has no idea what's going on with you. He is potentially having a lot of sleepless nights, struggling. You know, when a guy just gets super, super hairy and makes zero effort to shave, and their hair is wild and crazy, their beard is wild and crazy, super sweats, or potentially hot sweats at night, not sleeping. It could have something that you gave them or you left with them, or a photo of you, or something that they look at and hold on to quite dearly. They could pray a lot for you, dream about you, spend a lot of time thinking about you. They could also have the initials C and M, yeah? Could also be 28 years old, 30 years old, and 42 years old, standing out to me, okay? But what he doesn't realise is, as you've turned your back and you continue to evolve, you are staring at the new him. You're just waiting for the new him. And I guess until he realises that you're waiting for the new him, will he get up and become the new him, you know? Because you're evolving rapidly, feminine, but the masculine here, he's just sitting watching you still. He's still so in awe of you and still so wrapped up in thought of the past. He's still in the past quite a lot, I've got to say. Yeah? So if this is like a way for us to really break down the masculine and feminine dynamic, the masculine is still wrapped up in thoughts of the feminine, and he is watching the feminine, potentially online, potentially near you at work, watching you somehow. Some of you guys, if you work locally and he knows where you work, then he could be just popping in and around to kind of see you. You could see him on a frequent basis at work, but you just don't talk. But you know he just comes by to see you, that kind of energy as well. He doesn't know that you are 100% devoted and focused on him. You're just waiting for him to become his future self, because you've already seen the future, right? You already know what the future is. You've already said it, right? You're working hard on getting this clear. I feel like you wish the masculine knew how clear you were on what you saw. You could be clairvoyant or intuitive. I'm connecting with any woman that's developing at this kind of rate. It's a really rapid, scary ascension levels, yeah? I'm talking to a wild, crazy, out there, savage high priestess in this bitch. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. You deserve to be here. You a boss bitch in the game. You the kind of person I want on my channel. Your energy's lit, yeah? This feminine is high functioning, highly spiritual, because your ability to see the future and then manage the past whilst living in the now, manifesting these dreams, holding space for this masculine while he repairs the past. It looks really weighty from where he is as well. I don't know, like, I'm going to be honest with you, it doesn't look like any time soon this masculine is coming out of this energy that he's in. It could be really painful for him to also see you, see your ascension, to see your development. I mean, and let me tell you, feminine as well, anyone who is developing at your rate, you're going to have haters, yeah? You're going to have loads of haters. To see what you've been through in your life, and to see how you level up, and your posture, the way that you carry yourself, the way that you move, the love that you have in your heart as well, the poise that you carry, the way in which you still have other people. You focus on your money, you focus on yourself, you don't watch face, you're not rude or bitchy or catty. You just keep it really, really cute and mute, like cute and humble. Like your energy is really, really divine. But you know what you want, and you're not going to settle for anything less. And you are moving towards the life that you want, and you are creating and manifesting it for yourself. I see great things coming for you in the next 8 months. Yeah? I think 8 months from now, your life will be unrecognizable, and you would have shifted and evolved again, and you would really be sitting on the throne of the new you. Yeah? So where are we now? What are we in May June, July, August, September, October, November, December, January. Wow. You're coming in by next year, 2024, you're unrecognizable. Unrecognizable as a high priestess, as a light worker, as a feminine. As you're loaded. You remember we spoke about the storage? We spoke about the 2.0. You are fully loaded and the new version of yourself sitting back on your throne by 2024, January. Yeah? Masculine, I'm not going to ignore you. I'm going to go in and I'm going to understand what's going on here. Because it makes me want to cry loads and loads and loads, right? Because it's so hard to look at the feminine be ascending in this degree, and she's literally floating really effervescently now towards her destiny. She's already in flight. As she is in flight, I shouldn't worry about the masculine, because the masculine's in front of her already. The wealthy masculine, the divine masculine is in front of her. She's long got her eyes on him and is moving towards him. But there's an element of this masculine that is still the wounded masculine sitting in the past. So she already knows that there is a serendipitous moment, a wormhole in space and time. I've got content out called The Wormhole. Go and look at the thumbnail and listen to that. It will give you more sense about what I'm talking about when it comes to the wormhole ascension. Because this masculine is going through a wormhole ascension. He is still thinking, his mind frame is tethered to the past. All these energies to the past. These cookies, these Trojans, these memories, these experiences. So weighty in his mind. Everything he keeps seeing coming off of the feminine vibration is triggering him more and more and more. But he doesn't see the version of him he's destined to become. And that's who the feminine has already got her eyes on. The feminine is already standing next to the divine masculine in her mind. They're already locked in. They're already together. It's clear as day. They're one. In the now moment, they're one. It's weird to say in the past they were one. In the future they're going to be one. And in the now moment they're one. But all while we have this one divine energy, the masculine sitting in the past, surrounded by every other variable other than one, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, all the way around him in a circle, just spinning, right? And he hasn't had the ability to see beyond all of the other numbers. So there's a lot of other influences going on in the masculine's life at this time. Let's dive in. I had no idea this is going to be a divine masculine or feminine reading, guys. I'm really sorry. If I knew, I would have started like that straight away, right? I'm going to put out some more divine masculine and feminine readings over the next week now for you guys because of this. Nice energy to tap into as well. So I'll dive in. It's a really gorgeous story for the divine feminine. You should be really proud of yourself, okay? It's really inspiring. I love to see women succeed in life. It really makes me happy. But let's talk about this masculine because I see how you're carrying him forward in spirit. Yeah, the masculine's on a journey still. Yeah? The masculine is truly understanding what it means to forgive. He's learning very important lessons about forgiveness. He's learning very important lessons about business. Very important lessons about reading the fine print. Very important lessons about public appearance. Very important lessons about money. Very important event going on for the masculine at this time. Let me look at what this is. Intuition and logic. Yeah? The masculine is still dealing with issues from the past. He appears to not have the same obstacles the feminine had. The feminine had a lot of family stuff she had to deal with and resolve. Whereas the masculine has more work issues, but a lot more, do I use my intuition? Do I lose my logics? Head or heart? Emotions or intellect? Yeah? That is what is keeping the masculine in more of a wounded masculine vibration at this time. Sexy though. Because it shows, funny that. Forget a card that just flipped out, as I said, showed me strength came out. Strength flied out. I said it shows, and I was going to say strength. It shows real strength. Because every time in a cycle in your life where you are fighting off two highly skewed perspectives, two opposing narratives, two opposing views, two differing variables, yes, no, on, off. In this case, for the masculine, intuition versus logic, it shows strength. Because are you the guys that came in and said, hold steady, hold steady? Is this the reading? Because I've been here an hour now, I'm forgetting. Could be the reading I put out before this, so do and go and watch that as well. But we spoke about holding steady somewhere on this channel. And this masculine has been holding steady. But what did I say in that reading? It was the tarot and talk before this. I said, you got to drop it. Stop holding steady. You're holding steady for other people. Oh, release. This is imagine I just said you're holding steady for other people. Flip the card around. It says release. You need to go and watch the tarot and talk that came out before this if you are the masculine. If you want to know more about what the masculine is going through, go and watch the tarot and talk. And then go and watch the wormhole ascension. Yeah? That is the prescription for you guys. Because the masculine is holding so tightly to the old reality because he can't see what the future looks like. The feminine has moved on and is walking straight into the future. She's not even walking, she's living in the now, which is the future, because in the future, the now moment is the only moment that exists, right? The only moment that truly exists is the now. The past and the future are only constructs of what can be, is set to be, or what has already gone. So either way, we don't even need to preempt the past or the future, be in the now. The feminine is some next level sorcerer because she knows this to some next unbelievable degree, and she's already living in the now with the divine masculine. She's living in the now with the divine masculine. They're together. They're together. She's settled down. Like, I want to take the mix so much. They've settled down. They've had kids. They're living their best life. They're doing whatever they're doing. Everything's sorted. All these issues from the past don't exist anymore. And if you are the masculine, stop freaking out. I'm not saying there's someone else. This is you. But you can't see this yet because you're still holding on to the past. You haven't surrendered and released whatever this was. You're not. Imagine the feminine is going to be fully downloaded and up to date with the new iOS by January. So she's already got half of the download. Her download speed is not as fast as the masculine, but the masculine's still holding on to a lot of dead weight. All those cookies and Trojans that masculine's got ain't freeing up enough space. He ain't got the memory. So the truth of the matter is, this is the serendipitous wormhole of the situation. The moment that the masculine lets go of some of these cookies and Trojans and deletes 2 of his apps, he's going to fly past the development of this feminine and be right in front of her. And they're going to meet each other face on. January, I'm assessing. Let's say January the 24th, because I like those odds. And we're gamblers over here, especially with this divine masculine over here that we've spoken about at the casino. We're going to hold on that, right? The truth of the matter is, this masculine is coming to meet this feminine right on cue, right on divine timing, when he finally lets go of what he's holding on to, because he's been holding steady for a long time. But the moment that he truly is ready to accept and delete the apps that he knows he doesn't want anymore, and the those cookies and Trojans I spoke about, so all those extra elements in the mind, in life, family, friends, all these relationships that don't need to go anywhere, but they do need to be redistributed, reassessed. There needs to be some new vibration existing across the whole ecosystem for the feminine and her reality, and the masculine and his reality, in order for them to both come together in true union, you know? So it is really, really funny, because this feminine is just evolving and evolving and evolving, and she's just looking at her divine masculine. She's already got half the downloads. Half the download's full of the divine masculine, so she knows. Imagine the download's already loading. It's like when you're downloading Sims, for example, and it's like, all the music's playing in the background. You can see all the images. So she could already see the construct of what is coming and how this is all working out. She could already see the divine masculine is already in the game, is already programmed in. He's already on the new update. So she goes, so she's at peace, she's at one, because she can see that the masculine is already in the update. The names, or all the names, the descriptions, the information, the avatars, the characters, the phone setup, everything digitally has already been encoded with the divine masculine. We're getting super technological over here. You can tell I'm working my ass off on tech in my free time, right? Because the masculine is already programmed into the feminine. That's why she can see it so clearly. She knows it's her destiny. He ain't got the foresight that she has. He isn't aware of that, so he's holding steady to other elements out of fear-based vibrations, and he's got to work through a lot of other stuff, because there's finances, there's reputations on the line as well, there's business and career, and depending on what state you live in, I mean, there's accommodation, there's stuff like that here. There's fine prints are legal, so they could also be married or wrapped up and caught up in legal fees and legislation and, I want to say, grants, funding proposals, applications, affiliates, I want to say, associates, a lot of a mumbo jumbo I don't even want to deal with, right? And I'm sure that's why the masculine is in this vibration, because there's a lot of shit that he has to deal with before he can release it with absolute assurity more than anything else, right? But masculine, if this is you watching and you've resonated with all of this and this truly makes sense and aligns to your heart, just know that the feminine is looking at you. She's looking at the new you. She's looking at who you really are to her. She's looking at who you're going to become. She's waiting for you to show up in front of her, because she knows that's your destined position to be in front of her. So as though the thing is, yeah, this is a really nice way to end. It really makes me happy. My goodness. Because the masculine wants the feminine to look back at him. And masculine, if this is you and you're calling this female, reaching out to this female, texting this female, doing what you can to get this female's attention, you're asking her to look back at you. She knows that her destiny is in front of her. She knows that her true heart's desire, her true love for you can only exist in the now, and it's got to be in the front. So what needs to happen is she just keep doing what you're doing and work through this energy, and know that what you will somehow show up in front of her in your full entirety when you're meant to. And she's going to look at you like, hey, finally, been waiting for you to catch up and take your rightful position in front of me. Do you know why this is so beautiful as well? Because the twin flame journey, for all of us who truly, truly know it and understand, the feminine is always fighting for the masculine attention. She's always trying to outdo the masculine, always trying to be in first position. The whole narrative if I've ever known it about twin flame journeys, and from my standpoint as the divine feminine, is the divine feminine is always trying to outshine and overdo the masculine. The feminine saying, I'm not trying to outdo you. I'm not trying to take your position. I'm looking front and center, because I'm waiting to see you in front of me, right? I'm waiting to see you. Like, in my head, I'm waiting to see you up there. I'm sitting in the audience and I'm waiting to see you. Front and center, I'm looking at you. I'm going to keep being in this position and holding my seat in front row, waiting for you to be center stage, because that's your position. And the masculine is wondering whether or not he's ever going to get to this position again. And the feminine's already seen it. She goes, I know you're going to be front and center, and I can't wait to watch you in that position. So I'm just going to sit here and not look back at you, because if I look back at you, you're going to be distracted by me and my gaze. I'm going to look forward and just wait for you to appear front and center, because I know that that's where I'm going to see you, because I know that that's where you belong, and I know that that's your destiny. So let me continue to look forward, because when those curtains pull away, you're going to be right there on your throne where you're destined to be and where you're meant to be in this lifetime. And I'm at peace with that, and I'm assured in my heart knowing that you will appear in your rightful position. For now I know mine, and I've taken my seat. Oh, this is interesting as well. Hear this, right? Because in my head I'm getting the audience always arrive early. The show doesn't start until the masculine arrives. Wow, we're giving a lot of power away to the masculine today. Feminine me is really trying to fight internally, because I like to be the power player. But even me, I've got solace and peace inside of me, because I'm literally going in total agreement with this reading. I'm going, wow. The feminine's saying, I'm just going to sit in the audience and just eat my popcorn. And then I'm going to wait for the show to start. And then the curtains are going to open, and then it's going to be you there. Because you're the star of the show. You know? You are the star of the show, masculine. The feminine finally doesn't need to be the star of the show. And that's the first time in all of my years doing twin flame readings have I seen a divine feminine who no longer needs to be the star of the show and doesn't get fulfillment and find desire and purpose from being the star. This feminine has no desire to be the star. There's no need. Yet the masculine, which is this is how you know shit is aligned, right? Because the masculine, and why he's stuck in this energy, because he's looking at the feminine as a star. And he's looking at the feminine going, what am I supposed to do? You're the star here. Show me the way. You're the star. And she's like, no, I'm not the star. I'm just sitting here watching you, waiting for you to shine. Look at the surrender of both the masculine and feminine in this reading. The feminine has surrendered and given all of the power to the masculine. And the masculine has no idea that the feminine has given the power to the masculine. The masculine is looking to the feminine, asking for that power, asking for power and strength. Not knowing he's had it all along, and she already sees that in him, and she's just provided the space for that to occur naturally, yeah, energetically. Such a beautiful reading, man. One of the most twin flame reading, probably the most twin flame reading I've ever done so far in my life. How stunning. The feminine is in total and utter peace and awe with self, and the masculine has no idea what's coming for him. Not a clue. He has not a clue. I don't know what kind of shape it's going to take. And this masculine could be an actor, a performer, a magician, a scholar, someone who either way gets on stage and the curtains are going to kind of pull away, that comedian. Like there's some kind of show or performance or something like that. And I feel like there is a really, really pleasant surprise, I think, for the masculine who never thought he would make it to this position, I feel. It's interesting because it's just both the masculine and the feminine look like they want to give everything they have and all of their rights, all of their power, all of their knowledge, all of their wares to the other. When I said the feminine gave her power away as well, it's the first time I've probably ever said that without feeling like the feminine was lesser than. But no, by the feminine giving her power away to the masculine, it only made her more powerful. Because she surrendered the need to have any kind of power like that. And that is what liberated her into this ability to repeatedly evolve again and again and again. That's beautiful, guys. Stunning, stunning, stunning. While this energy's still here and it's gorgeous, I'm going to go and do a divine masculine channeled message and a divine feminine channeled message. They're going to be premiering now, so go and check them out and hit the notification bell so you can receive them when they drop, okay? And please hit like and subscribe if you enjoyed that. Feel free to share more in the comments as well. If you want more of these, write more of these in the comments, or they will not be coming, okay? Love and light collective. Bye.
Spaceman, I always wanted you to go to spaceman.